Just doing some weathering. Yes, Bacon says yes. Let's go, Viper says. They're waifu pilots that are like in various states of undress. Can I say that? Yeah, my local store, surprisingly enough, has these. I had seen them online. I was like, oh, these look cool. I thought they would be something that you'd have to like pay a lot of money for, ship them from Japan, some shit like that. No, for some reason, this one hobby shop close to me, and they mostly deal in remote control cars, remote control planes, and then they have a smaller section for gunpla, tanks, model kits like that. Uh, and for some reason, they've got some waifus, some third-party waifu, uh, uh, 1 in 35th scale. No, 1 in 20. Actually, both. They have both scales for Maschinen Krieger, specifically for Maschinen Krieger. And I'm sure that they're quite popular with builders for anything of a similar scale. Because I mean, they're just waifus. They're pretty nice. Maybe I'll link to them. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Bacon is always yes. Bacon can confirm. Bacon is. I have an endorsement from Bacon here. So one nice thing about Maschinen Krieger is that you can kind of go in with the weathering, you can go in with the chipping, and it's kind of okay within the theme. Like you can make a clean build, you can do like a very kind of polished and slick vision of the world of Maschinen Krieger, and certainly many have. But by that same token, a lot of people like to really go in, and even more than I'm doing presently. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of folks out there that really, really go in and go hard with the weathering. So if you enjoy weathering, or if it's something you want to experiment with, Maschinen Krieger is a good, or working in this style of Maschinen Krieger, maybe that's the best way to put it. It's kind of like a good place to practice. So yeah, so I bought this rust stain and streaking kit at the outdoor sale last month, and it does come with some instructions regarding like best practices for creating weathering and all of that. So we're gonna actually give this a try. We're gonna try and follow the instructions and see how that works. These paints are Vallejo, and there's actually a variety of paints. Some of them are air colors, some of them are yeah, they're basically just different styles of paint within the Vallejo brand. How did you pronounce it, Carmi? Vagello? Be a rebel and no weathering on your next one? Yeah, actually, I'll probably do that. Maybe no weathering on my next build. It's funny though, like for example, the Witch. I did the Witch from Mercury. Sorry, not Witch from Mercury kit. My Witch 30-minute missions kit. And I did it clean. Like, I wanted it to be a clean build. And then when I finished, I was like, it needs more. It needs a little juice. Arch, work time. I'll behave, yes. No promises, but I will try. Vagello. Vallejo.
Nut.
No. Hey, thank you, Carmi, for that nut. Good old nut. Well. Well. Catch you later, no problem. Indeed. Catch you later. So I roughed up the surface of this model. It's a very modeled texture now. It's very I don't even know how to describe it. It's just I think they called it like cast steel. It's, you know, World War II tanks and stuff like that have this look of you know, a very uneven, bumpy surface. If you've ever seen like military vehicles at like a museum maybe or something like that, which is basically what I attempted to recreate with this. And yeah, it's really, really lumpy in some parts. Really interesting. I think it's the most pronounced here in the back. There's just a lot of texture going on, which is really neat. It's a really cool look to it. And then we kind of accentuate it even more using this stuff, using leathering and all of that. By the way, guys, love that casted iron texture yet look. Yeah, yeah, I definitely will revisit this technique. I will definitely try it again. Some parts are more pronounced than the others. It's really neat, though. I think I'd like to do that to a Zaku. What do you think? I think that might be kind of cool. To this day, I have yet to build a Zaku. Isn't that wild? I happen to really enjoy Zaku, the designs of Zakus, and yet I have not messed around. Fun. Although, you know, regarding the Murdoch, what? I know, right? What the hell's wrong with me? Well, I have some mono eyes, right? I do have some mono eye kits. I have yet to build a Zaku. Crazy. Crazy. Unbelievable. It's blasphemous. Even though yeah, like I said, I tend to like those designs more. It's always a good idea having some jacked up brushes in your arsenal to do stuff like this. This brush is not the best in terms of like coming to a fine point, but it is pretty good for doing some scratches. Although this is a little too pronounced, so we're gonna try and flood the area and try and get that off a little bit. There you go. I'm not too concerned about like making it look clean, because I mean this thing is gonna look junky at the end of the day. Recently put together Master Grade Zaku 2.0. Excited to get paint on it. Nice. 2.0. Is there a 3.0? Just out of curiosity. I'm not sure what... commenting and reposting it, and on Twitter as well. I was saying this earlier, but it doesn't happen too often that something that I do hits the way this has. That's just the struggle of being a creative person on the internet these days. You know what I mean? Like, unless you really try and make a point to do things that are gonna like catch headlines and what do I want to say? Do things that get the attention, and yeah, it's kind of hard to get noticed. But this was one of those cases where, yeah, something that I did, people seem to really like it, and I'm very happy for that. Very grateful. Level 100 should be yeah, whew. Man, it's tough out there on Street Fighter. Do I like that? I don't know. I don't know if I like that scratch, but we're just gonna let it rock. The wise words of somebody. Just gonna let it rock. Okay, I think that's probably enough weathering for this stage. The next little bit is that we kind of want to do some kind of chipping effect on some of the darker parts. But let's kind of clean up a little bit here. This is we've got some palettes that we're not using. Viper, hey Eddie, yo 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 yo, what's up everyone? What's up? What's up? Let me just refresh my browser thing. We had a little technical issue right at the start of the stream, but I think it's kind of sorted itself out, which is good. I'm relieved. It's just some internet things. It's just how it be. SCGMC entry. What do you have something in mind? Is this something that you can state for the public to view, Eddie? Or is this top secret? My key bit of advice is like how many months away is this thing, Eddie? Like if you start now, and even if you just work on it like for 10 minutes, even if you just work on it for 10 minutes, that is better than just like not doing anything at all. And then if you just do like 10 minutes a time, just a little bit every day, you'll kind of be making good progress on it. It's in November, so it's quite a ways away, but yeah, like you've got the right thinking. If you're thinking about starting it like right now, I think you'll be in good shape for when the time comes. Something into a maid. That's way too fast. So then I add some water, and then the water kind of doesn't work out. The water kind of like makes it too thin, so then I should use like some medium. It's a whole ordeal. Bananas, I feel that, yeah, medium would work. I actually just recently bought some. I'm just too lazy to use it. Too lazy to grab it right now. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. Gnarly, I've been cosplaying as someone who is barely making rent for a while now. It's been fun, but a little tiring, yes. Might want to change it up, you know? Change it up to, you know, somebody that's good at math or something. What do you say? How's it going, just Gnarly? Should go play cosplay with someone with a better job. World Tier 4, Eddie? No, I'm like World Tier 3 still. Do you know, I was getting so frustrated with my build, because I was just like a ranged marksman rogue. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna look up a guide. I'm gonna look up a guide for a build. So I was like, okay, this one looks good. I just pretty much reset my character, refunded all my points, and just followed what that guy did. And I'm like having such a better time. I'm like, oh shit, look at this. Life can be so easy when you actually know what you're doing. But yeah, for me, like, it's just a me problem. But reading all of that shit, there's so much information. Farm better items, yeah, but it's also just kind of like understanding. Got him. Bananas. It's also just understanding like what the abilities do and how they interact with each other. And I feel like my brain is just not ready for that. It's just, I don't know. Somehow they made it easier to understand in Diablo 3. It was maybe a little easier to Celsius, that is. And yeah, some days I'm just like, I don't feel like doing anything. That fucking Diablo guy just can't take a hint. Just keeps coming back. Well, there's a little, I don't want to spoil anything about the new game, but maybe he does take a hint. Maybe, just maybe, Diablo takes a hint. Eddie, better for items, yes. I had to change my build several times. Yeah. I think at the start I was doing okay. I was like, okay, I'm fine. I'm coping well with like the onslaught of enemies. And then yeah, once I hit World Tier 3, it just got noticeably harder. I was dying left and right, just like my life in Street Fighter, dying all the time. But you can do something about it in Diablo. You can look up a guide and just get better that way. You can't really do that in Street Fighter. You can't really get you just have to get good in Street Fighter. that's the problem. And I was reaching a point where I was like, okay, this is work now. If I want to have fun in this game, it's basically work. I don't want to do work. Don't make me. There's a point where Carmi was just carrying me through the dungeons. Damn, Carmi the Carmarian. Carmi the. So Arch, you have not seen Bill and Ted because you didn't know about Station. Have you seen any Bill and Ted movies? The alien with the big butt is from. This is a reference to our conversation on Discord, and I'm sure Nightbot has mentioned in the past. But you can type in !Discord if any are all interested in talking about big alien butt cracks. Here we go. Hold on. Let me type in this baby here. Station. I was gonna type in !Station. I should have an !Station. And then just a big picture of Station's alien Martian butt appears. I have not the butt. Okay, so that's your homework, Arch. You need to watch Bill and Ted 2, although you probably should watch Bill and Ted 1 first. That big old alien butt, I swear to God, that rewired my brain to some extent as a child. I don't know, it's just okay, so I watched that movie with my parents, and I remember hearing like a very disgruntled like harumph when that big alien butt was shown. I don't know if it was my parents or it was someone else in the theater. Some adult was like this is not appropriate for children. A big alien butt, a big alien butt crack. Do I want to? Yes, they're good movies. Honestly, I really enjoyed them as a kid, but they're kind of like an archive of a very specific time and place. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that world doesn't exist anymore. Like the way the clothes that people wear, the way they talk, so on and so forth. It's kind of like an archive. Station, big cakes. There we go. Viper knows what's up. Oh my God, what the? That was just hilarious, and it stuck with me all this time. And somehow we got to talking about it on the Discord, and amusingly enough, it seemed like
greetings, my excellent friend.
Yo, Rufus. Wait, what's his name? Awesome. That was a good one, Carmi. Greetings. Bill and Ted. Good old Bill and Ted. Yeah, to Murdoch's point, the new one was fun. Yeah, I actually ended up liking that new one. Good. It was perfectly in line with all the other movies that you'd seen in the past from Bill and Ted, and it didn't really disappoint. I don't think so, at least. I've only seen it once, but I enjoyed it. It was good. It didn't have Station, I'll tell you that much. You know, the absence of Station did not go unnoticed, so there's that. But otherwise, good. And the kids that played like Bill and Ted's kids, they were like perfectly cast. They were perfect. I think we should brush on this silver around here. Let's do that. Between Bill and Ted and Wayne's World. Those are like peak comedy for me as a child. The peak, absolute pinnacle. Ba-da-ba. Yeah, we're just gonna dry brush some of this metallic onto the black parts here. It feels like it needs something. You don't have to do a very thorough job. We can half-ass it. Oh, speaking of Bill and Ted, Keanu Reeves, I recently saw, just last night, I watched John Wick 4, and it was amazing. I actually really, really love John Wick 4. I like the John Wick franchise overall. As the world has kind of expanded and the fiction of the John Wick world, you know, has kind of gotten into a lot of like, how to say, like they've been kind of caught up in their own mythology, I guess, in their world building. To some extent, it's gotten kind of out of hand. But I would say that with this one, John Wick 4, it's just really good. It's just really good. Like, yes, there's more wacky, zany kind of like round table stuff. You know, even right at the start, there's like, without getting into details, but like this clock, this like, what do they call it? Like a sand clock, 20th scale Maschinen Krieger kit, and I'm actually loving it a lot. I take it you're a fan. I'm really, really enjoying this, and I'm probably gonna get more. But yeah, how are you, Skyfire? Nice to see you here. They're out there, the Maschinen Krieger fans. There's a lot more Gundam people out there, understandably so. And I'm not saying I'm not one of them. I enjoy Gundam as well. But I really do love how wild Maschinen Krieger is. And there is no anime, as a matter of fact, Urban. It's a model kit series that has been made specifically for a magazine. There was like this in the 80s or something. There was like a hobby magazine. And that's where the kits, or rather that's where the builds and the concept kind of grew from. But yeah, it's almost entirely just model kits. There might be like novels and books or something. So yeah, the rust is getting expressed more, which is cool. Skyfire, I've been building a ton of them, all the way back to the early 2000s. That is amazing. Do you have an Instagram or some other way that I can see your work? I would love to see some Maschinen Krieger stuff. Or if you don't mind, you can also join the Discord. I've got a Discord where we post our work, talk about all sorts of silly stuff, and you can find it right here. Whoop! As something fell. Oh, there it is. Nightbot. The Nightbot. Oh, there's Skyfire. You did it. You did it. There you go. I do like steampunk robot. Oh yeah, Urban, you did the Sakura Wars, right? You did that Sakura Wars kit, and that was really cool. Manga, it's not. I don't think they do. I don't think there's a manga, but there could be like a, like a book, sort of collecting images and builds with some story as well. Fairly new to it too. You almost got them all? Wow, very nice. It's a great, like, these kits are kind of great if you want to experiment more with weathering, if you want to have a theme that would work well with just really going to town on that kind of look. This is the wave. Murdoch, apparently there was a movie developed Movie development announcement in 2017. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, we will get more Maschinen Krieger at some point in the future. You never know. Like, I mean, I remember sometime after like Lord of the Rings, like maybe the first movie or the second, Peter Jackson announced that he was gonna make a Evangelion movie. Do you guys remember that? Apparently there was an Neon Genesis Evangelion movie supposed to come out, but obviously we're still waiting on that. Maybe he just decided to make Pacific Rim. Urban, I need one more white one to do this weather stuff to it. Oh, like do weathering on top of a kit that's like more white. That would be good. You would really see the weathering a whole lot more, right? Skyfire, I've been building mostly scale model planes since the 80s. Then I got into Gunpla, Maschinen Krieger, and 30-minute missions. Nice. Yeah, 30-minute missions. I've only built one, and I quite like it. I liked it. I will likely buy more at some point. But yeah, nice. I remember seeing like Maschinen Krieger kits a long time ago, and just thinking that they were so wild, right? You know, there's like a handful of hobby shops in Toronto where they would carry like all. Yeah, so one nice thing about Maschinen Krieger kits is that, or at least the aesthetic, right, is that you can really go to town on all the rust and the weathering and the aesthetics and stuff. You can really go hard on it, and it just looks good. It's the look of Maschinen Krieger, so it's fine. So if you're the type of person that is trying to learn how to do stuff like this, how to do, as I am, I'm not here trying to say I'm like an expert or anything. I'm pretty much very new to weathering techniques. This is a great place to kind of try it out. Hawk, I met Cal at a show of his work in Portland many years ago. Shoot, that is so cool. Am I saying it right? Is it Cal or Co? Co? I think it might be Co. Anyways, you tell me. But that is amazing. Yeah, very cool. Co. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I feel like I should know that, but I was never entirely sure. Co. Yeah, so cool. That's awesome that you met him. Skyfire, you can see on the new spotter part of the torso is from an Apollo moonlander, and the anti-gravity pack is part of AT-AT next. That's hilarious. I kind of want one now. That's hilarious. One thing I like about using acrylics is that there really isn't an odor, right, compared to other kinds of paints and paint medium, and I appreciate that. Don't have to deal with stinky, toxic stuff. I'll probably have to do another pass of this rusty stuff, right? I'll probably have to look at it one more time, make sure we're kind of we are very thorough and we get it everywhere where it needs to go. But I'll probably move on to another step soonish, just to kind of get a feel, for what we're doing over here. But yeah, for folks that are new to the channel, this is mostly what we do over here. We paint models, we build dioramas. Recently finished the Laputa Castle in the Sky diorama. Very happy with how that turned out. So yeah, I do a lot of different stuff, I guess is what I want to say. Hey, Murdoch with the subscribe! Oh my gosh, Murdoch, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Slot Squad. There's no there's no actual gimmicky name, but if I did, then you'd be part of the Slot Squad. And yeah, please enjoy your ad-free experience. Please enjoy your farm-to-table, locally sourced, cruelty-free emotes made by yours truly. Everyone seems to really enjoy. Wait, that wasn't. Oh, it's vanilla. Hold on. I thought it was a. I thought it was a Murdoch, but yeah, vanilla. Oh my gosh, vanilla. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You dropped this king. I was seeing my shitty old eyes. Thank you so much, vanilla. Appreciate it. Always supportive of the channel. You know the emotes. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. She's like, I know. Sheesh. Look at me being a fucking disaster of a streamer. Vanilla. Sense? Like, because you're kind of familiar with that. So that aspect wouldn't be as shocking to you. But I would say that the way things come together is really nice. Like, the fit is really good. And the plastic's really good. There's a handful of parts. Again, I don't know if this is just how it is in the world of Maschinen Krieger and these kits in particular. But for example, the bolts, right, or rather these studs, rivets, those little bits, you have to put them on yourself. They're not sculpted onto this surface, and you effectively have to slice them off the runner and then kind of just use your eyeball, use your best judgment for where they go. They tell you in the instructions, but you know, again, unlike a Gundam kit, you're really gonna have to kind of assess how it'll go, how to place that. And again, that was like new territory for me, a whole new world for me, but an enjoyable one. It was a nice challenge. And you know what, so building this kit and the way all the details work and everything, something about it kind of reminded me of I felt like I was building a movie prop, something for like a movie, rather than a Gundam kit, which is kind of like you're building a really awesome toy, you know? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, mind you. Maybe toy is a bad way to say it. A toy in the sense that they're like articulated, really nicely articulated Gundam stuff. But this, I felt like I was building a prop for a movie. You know, it had that level of, I don't want to say realism, but there's something about it that just felt different. Just hits different. So yeah, enjoyable. Enjoyable. And yeah, there should be a lot of rust on the foot, right? So we'll do that now. A lot of rust kind of accumulating on things like the hands and on the foot. So we'll do that. We'll just kind of get in there. This brush is a lot more roughed up, so we can kind of get that in there. Yeah, nice to meet you Maschinen Krieger folks out there. I've streamed building this kit in the past, building and painting it. All of it I've done on stream, just at various points in time, not like all in a single concentrated amount of time. But I think practically every time I've worked on this, I've rarely encountered people that are into Maschinen Krieger, so very happy to meet you all. As a matter of fact, the Maschinen Krieger community that I've kind of encountered on Instagram, for example, very supportive, very cool people, and I like that. That's really nice. Hawk, awesome. I will have to pick one up. For someone who doesn't build a lot of glue kits, you're doing a very nice job. Thank you, thank you. Yes, not a lot of glue kits. I like to paint kits, mind you, when I can, but yeah. Glue? I mean, in the world of Warhammer, I definitely glued stuff, right? I definitely have glued some Warhammies, for sure. Do, 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 do. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's pretty nice, and I'll take a photo. I'll take a photo of this, guys, so you can kind of get a better look at like the effect that's happening here. But the rust, even as little as I've applied, it's really kind of building up nicely. It's kind of really adding a nice sense of extra depth to this model, which I am down with. And it's very watered down, this acrylic paint that I'm using, so it kind of, you don't have to worry about it like being kind of hard to work with. You can kind of take it away as you like. Yeah, so that's not what it's called officially. Rust and shit. Maybe I'll buy more of these little painting kits, right? Because you get a bunch of nice paint. And this is Vallejo, it's a nice brand. And you get a little instruction tutorial on how to do certain techniques. And it's one thing to look up online. It's one thing to find that information on your own. But you know, going through something like this is very helpful. And yeah, see, this is a moistened brush. Just gonna kind of dab away at it a little bit so that it's not as aggressive. And yeah, we just keep on doing this. You basically just do this everywhere and on everywhere and everything on the model. So, okay, so for example here, let's just do this face, quote unquote, you know, the canopy. Let's do this. And see where it takes us for the next step. Because there's an even lighter color that you can apply. You just kind of keep on going with lighter and lighter colors, I suppose. I guess that's why I find painting rust and weathering so interesting, is because you really get to paint in the sense of like you feel like a painter, like some kind of Renaissance canvas painter type of person. I almost feel like I'm doing that with this method. I mean, if I were to spray paint something, it's kind of just done. I just spray paint it and you're done. Which I actually am down with. I'm completely cool with just finishing something really quickly. Having spent 2 months or more working on my previous project, doing things fast is a very appealing notion. Which is the total opposite of what's happening here. Okay, so for example, now model air orange rust. So now we can use an even smaller, an even brighter color of rust and apply it to another more concentrated area. And it just keeps on going. If you look at the example, you kind of just continue. And then you kind of reinforce some of these rusting streaks. Where the heck is that from? Is that from Rick and Morty? Gobble blah blah. Yeah, just keep on going. So how about the next time we continue? How about the next time we stream, we kind of continue with all this process? That scared you, Vanilla? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we've been watching Rick and Morty. We haven't ever watched Rick and Morty until fairly recently. So, very funny. Funny shit. Oh shit, do you hear that, guy? It's the hype train. It's the hype train. Oh, that was weak. That was a weak blow here. There we go. Yeah, oof. Blah, 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 blah. Here, where's that gun? Let's put that gun on. There's a number of other details that we need to add on for this chap. But we're getting there. We're getting there. It's definitely looking like a thing. He's definitely looking like a thing, guys. Blah 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 blah.